macam saya cakap seorang-seorang depan komputer. Okay? So macam awak lah, bila awak cakap seorang-seorang dengan cakap berbual dengan kawan awak, senang kan berbual dengan kawan awak daripada cakap seorang-seorang. Kalau awak normal lah kan, faham tak maksud saya kan? Okay? So maybe lepas ni saya kena buat banyak soalan tanya during class. So make sure you are follow our discussions and you are understand what we discuss in our class. Okay, so let's continue with our discussions or our class for today. Water transport through the xylems. Okay, tadi we have discussed about short distance transportations, which is cell to cells. Okay, so basically short transportations in plants involve apoplastic transportations and also symplastic transportations. Now we discuss about long distance transportations. Okay, so long distance transportations involve transpirations and also water pressure. Okay, at roots, and also continuous tube of water depends upon water cohesions and water additions. Okay, so how water move from lower part of the plants, which is roots, into upper part of plants, examples leaf or another other part of dahan ataupun bahagian-bahagian lain adalah menerusi kita tadi dah belajar cohesions and additions properties of water. Okay, so long distance transports. Okay, what is mean long distance transports? The movements or transportations of water molecules from roots, okay, for example, roots to stems or to upper part, other upper parts, leaf ataupun fruits. Okay, so how this process happens? Okay, like what we discussed earlier, in animals we have muscle cells. Okay, what is muscle cells? Muscle cells is actually cells that can facilitate our movements. Okay, so we walk, we jumps because we have muscle cells. But plants is a sessile organisms. It cannot move from one part to another parts. Okay, so it can grow from one part to another parts, but it can move from one part to another parts. So not only it can move from one part to another parts, macam the process of water transportations also different because it contains muscle cells. Okay, kalau macam dekat animal ataupun manusia, kita boleh angkut ataupun transport solutions, water or blood from one organ to another organs because we have heart, kita ada jantung. Jantung adalah muscle tissues. Okay, dia boleh bergerak, dia boleh pump, so it can transport solutions, water from one organ to another organs. But in plants, dia tak ada muscle cells, dia tak ada jantung, so dia punya mechanisms of water transportation would be different. Okay, so in some species of tree, the process of move water and nutrients is more than 100 meter upwards. Okay, so certain plants, dia punya ketinggian more than 100 meters. Okay, so how they can transport the water daripada akar ni pada bahagian atas, sedangkan dia punya ketinggian more than 100 meters. Okay, so what kind of energy mechanisms involved? Okay, so earlier we have discussed about cohesions. What is mean by cohesions? Attractions of water molecule. Cohesions properties of water. Apa dia maksud cohesions properties of water molecules? Apa yang dimaksudkan cohesions? Tadi kalau awak ingat, attractions between
of water molecules
to water.
Okay. Attractions between water molecules. Okay, why water molecules can attract between each other? Sebab apa? Why water molecules can attract to each other? Ingat tadi?
Ada cohesion force charge.
Yes, cohesions maksudnya water molecules can attract to each other. Why water molecule can attract to each other? Because water molecule is polar molecule. Why water molecule is polar molecule? Because it contains positive charge
Positive,
and
negative.
negative charge in a molecules. Okay. Dalam satu molekul tu dia ada positive charge and negative charge. Okay. Sebab tu dia tertarik antara satu sama lain. Okay. So macam mana water molecule can attract to each other? The positive charge will attract to negative charge. Okay. So the hydrogen part will attract to oxygen part.
Oxygen.
Okay. Sebab itu kan. So kita tahu dia ada charge positif dengan charge negatif. Okay. So nearly all of the energy to drive the process comes from the sun. Okay. So unbroken change of water molecules fills xylem vessels. Okay. So evaporations at the top pull water up from the bottoms. Okay. So faham tak? Siapa yang faham the statements? Siapa yang faham this statement? First, kita tahu, okay? So the mechanisms how water can move from the roots into the upper part from plants, because first, cohesive and also adhesive properties. Cohesive properties, the water molecules can attract to each other. So if the water molecule can attract to each other, the air tu dia tak akan terputus. Faham tak? Sebab tu orang cakap kan macam air dicincang tak akan putus. So faham tak? Dari segi scientific terms, kenapa air dicincang tak putus? Awak faham tak?
Faham.
Cohesive tadi tu kan? Okay, they attract to each other. So the water molecules will fill the xylems. Okay, so dia tak adalah bubbles dekat xylems tu. Xylems tu it will be filled with water from this lower part into the upper part. Okay, and then water molecule also have adhesive properties. What is mean adhesive properties? It attract to other compounds. Okay, so in these situations, the water molecules will bind, will attract. Okay, dekat dinding xylem tu tadi. Okay, faham tak? So at the upper part, especially at the stomata, bila hari siang, water molecules will evaporate. Okay, dia ada proses evaporations dekat sini. So bila ada evaporations, apa yang berlaku? From solid to gas, the changes will also induce the pressure. Okay, so the water pressure dia adalah berbeza dengan bahagian dengan sebelah atas. Okay, so sebelah atas ni pressure dia lebih rendah ke lebih ringan? Okay, the transpirations, okay, the evaporations, the transpirations will create water pressure gradients. Okay, so bahagian mana yang pressure lebih tinggi? Dekat atas daun ataupun dekat bawah?
Atas.
Pressure lebih kuat dekat atas ke lebih dekat bawah? Okay, sebagai contoh, okay, so awak ada satu gelas air. Kalau awak boleh bayangkan, awak ada satu gelas air. You have a glass or you have a jar of water, and then you put a straw into this glass of water or a jar of water. So what happens to the water in the straw? Apa yang jadi? Apa jadi? So the water levels in a straw higher compared to water levels in a glass. Okay, why? Because there is a water pressure. Okay, so luas permukaan dia akan menyebabkan pressure dia lebih tinggi. Okay, sebab dekat gelas tu dia permukaannya lebih luas berbanding dekat bahagian dalam straw tu. So water pressure dekat sebelah atas dan sebelah luar tu lebih tinggi. So it pull the water higher compared to water level dekat gelas tadi tu kan. So dekat transpiration process ni apa yang berlaku? Apa yang berlaku? Ada ni tak? Ada any idea tak? Oh, so ni ada tulis. Outside pressure adalah negative 10 psi compare dekat dengan leaf. Okay, dia punya water pressure adalah 7. So mana lebih tinggi? Dekat luar ke dekat pokok ni lebih tinggi?
Pokok.
Jom dengan sepuluh.
Pokok.
Pokok.
Okay. Lebih tinggi. So dia air dia akan dekat bahagian luar ni. Okay. So tadi kita tahu kan air cincang tak akan putus. So dekat sini adalah soil solutions. Okay. So because of this area is bigger dekat dengan stomata, dekat dengan air yang lost tu. Okay, so what happens? The air will press. Okay, sebab air tekanan tadi dia lebih kuat dekat sini, air tu dia akan naik ke atas. Okay, macam dekat straw tadi tu lah. Awak faham tak? Straw tadi tu.
Faham.
Awak faham tak ni? Macam senyap. Awak bayangkan dalam straw tu adalah xylem. Okay, dekat bahagian luar tu adalah soil solutions, dekat air dekat tanah. Okay, so apa yang berlaku? Air dekat straw tu lebih tinggi. Okay, samalah juga dekat ni. Air semakin kecil, semakin kurang permukaan kan? Kalau semakin besar straw, semakin luas permukaan lah air dekat dalam situ. Faham tak ni? Macam saya macam tak faham je. Cuba cakap betul-betul. Faham tak betul? Faham ke tak?
Kurang.
Saya Google gambar pula. Oh, nampaklah kalau saya guna ni. Lukis senang sikit. Tak faham. Mana silinder? Okay, this is a cylinder. Okay. For example, this is a glass. Okay. And then you have a straw. Cantik lah. Awak faham lah kan? Awak faham kan? So this is glass lah, for example a glass. Okay, you fill this glass with water, then you put a straw into the glass. So what will happen? The water levels in the straw will be higher compared water level in glass. Why? Because the surface area, okay, of water that exposed to the atmospheric pressure lebih luas, okay, compared to luas permukaan water yang terdedah pada atmospheric pressure. Okay, so oleh sebab luas permukaan dia lebih luas, the pressure dia lebih tinggi lah, okay, berbanding kat sini. So atmospheric pressure dekat sini lebih rendah, so water levels becomes higher in this straw. So sama lah dekat pokok tu, ini kita panggil capillary, okay, capillary effect. Okay, so semakin kecil straw tu, kalau letak dia punya paras air lebih tinggi ke lebih rendah?
Tinggi.
Lebih tinggi.
Tinggi.
Sebab apa lebih tinggi?
lagi
So apa lebih tinggi?
luas permukaan.
Baik. Sebab luas permukaan dia lebih rendah. Kan? Lebih rendah, dia punya tekanan lebih rendah lah. Itu macamlah sama dekat pokok ni. Okay. And then the evaporations. Evaporations of water molecules at the stomata will also get the water pressure. The water pressure gradients. Okay. So the pressure at the surroundings will be lower compared to at the stomata. Okay. So you know that water will move from higher concentrations to lower water potentials. So jadi apa? Apa jadi? At the tops, the water potentials will become higher lah kan? Sebab kita pressure tadi, awak ingat tak? Water potentials dia akan menurun bila kita letak solutes. Okay, and then kalau dia punya pressure lebih tinggi, dia punya water potential lebih tinggi ke lebih rendah?
Tinggi.
Tinggi ke rendah tadi?
Tinggi.
Oh, saya pun dah keliru dah. Okay. So tapi dekat sini water potentials become higher. Okay. Tadi apa? Pressure tinggi. Apa jadi dekat water potentials? Tinggi ke rendah?
Tinggi.
Okay. So
Increase.
okay. So tadi water potentials dia dekat sini tinggi. Okay. And then water potential lebih tinggi. Water potential betul lah become tinggi. Okay. So water will move from lower water potentials to higher water potentials. Okay. Faham tak ni? Saya takut awak tak faham lah. Okay. So this is transpiration process that occur in a leaf. Okay. So the exact place where the transpiration process occur is at the stomata. Okay. So what is the functions of stomata? There is main functions of stomata is untuk apa? Carbon dioxide. Okay. So carbon dioxide
Gas.
will move into so gas exchange. Okay. So carbon dioxide will move into leaf through stomata. Okay. And then when the photosynthesis process occur, it will produce oxygens. Okay, oxygens will move out from leaf to the surroundings, also through stomata. Okay. However, during daylight, during hot, especially during afternoons, the water, because sebab apa terlampau panas, apa yang berlaku? Water will change from solutions into vapor. Okay, and then it will move out into surrounding from stomata. Okay, so this is a diagram of stomata. Stomata opening can be closed and also can be controlled by gut cells. Okay, so this is a gut cells. Okay, so how this gut cell control the opening and closing the stomata? Macam mana? Kau ingat tak?
Ion.
Ions, examples of ions, the concentrations of ions. Okay, so cracks. Okay, especially sodium chloride. Okay, so for example, if the plants, okay, dia nak buka stomata ni, so apa yang dia buat? The ion, the chlorines, okay, will pump into these gut cells. Okay, so the solid concentrations will cause the water potentials become apa? Apa dia?
Decrease.
So decrease.
Decrease.
Okay, so the osmosis process, so the osmotic pressure, the water molecules will always move from higher concentrations, higher gradients to lower osmotic pressure. So the water molecules, water will move into the gut cells. Okay, the movement of ions into the gut cells will use the movement of water molecules into gut cells. So when the water molecules move into gut cells, dia jadi apa? Become turgid. Okay, so the stomata will open. Okay, so kalau dia nak close, macam mana? The ions will move out from stomata. So the movement of water from turgids, from gut cells pada cells yang lain will induce the movement of water. Water will move out from these gut cells into adjacent cells. So what will happen? It will cause the stomata to close. Okay. Kita habis dah. So faham tak? Any questions? Any questions? Ada soalan tak?